Beginning of the British rule in India. In the previous session, we have discussed about the arrival of the Europeans in India, the establishment of the British Empire in India, the Battle of Plassey, and the Battle of Buxar. In this session, we shall study about the exploitation of Indians and their resources and the revolt of 1857. Exploitation of Indians and their resources. The administration of East India Company forced the farmers of Bihar to grow indigo, a plant from which a blue powder was used for dyeing cloth is made. The British traders bought it at a low price. This dye was used in England for dyeing mill cloth. The farmers had no need for indigo as they needed food grains to feed themselves. They were forced to sell indigo to the British at a low price. Thus, the Indian farmers became poor under the British rule. Even the cotton and silk textile weavers were compelled to sell the cloth at a very low price. The Indian cottage industry also became the victim of British greed. Britain did not grow cotton due to cold climate, but they had big cotton textile mills which required cotton. So, cotton was bought from here at a low price and sent to Britain. In Britain, cotton cloth was shipped back to India and sold in Indian market. The Indians had to buy this cloth at a very high price. The British did not allow Indians to start their own mills or factories. Peasants also had to pay heavy taxes to the British. Even when the crops failed, they had to pay these taxes. At times, villages were also hit by famines. The British did nothing to care for the people. Thousands of people died in these terrible famines. Revolt of 1857. The Revolt of 1857 is also known as the First War of Indian Independence. By the year 1857, the British had almost taken over the entire country. The draining of wealth and uprooting of native industries by the British caused unrest among the people, while the policies of doctrine of lapse angered the helpless Indian rulers due to the unfair annexation of their kingdoms. Background of the revolt. Like the rest of India, the sepoys or the Indian soldiers in the British Army too were unhappy with the British rule. This eventually led to an uprising in 1857 widely known as the Revolt of 1857 or the Sepoy Mutiny. The soldiers were made to use a special type of cartridge which had to be bitten off before use. It was believed that the cover of the cartridges were greased with the fat of cows and pigs. This angered the Hindus and Muslims as their religion did not permit the Hindus to eat beef and the Muslims to eat pork. The soldiers in Meerut revolted against the British on May 9, 1857 by refusing to use these cartridges. The main centers of the revolt of 1857 were Delhi, Meerut, Kanpur, Jhansi, Lucknow, Faisalabad, Bareilly, Gwalior, and Hara in Bihar. Main leaders of the revolt were Mangal Pandey, Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi, Kunwar Singh, Beham Asrad Mahal, Nana Sahib, and Tandia Tope. The leaders of the revolt of 1857 were severely defeated by the British Army. After the revolt, the company's rule over India was brought to an end. India came under the direct rule of the British Crown, and Queen Victoria became the Empress of India. In this lesson, we have studied about the arrival of Europeans in India, the establishment of the British Empire in India, the Battle of Plassey, the Battle of Buxar, exploitation of Indians and their resources, and the revolt of 1857.